Yes. All right. Here it is. Tri-City Sports Now. 1:30 on Friday means Josh Brown, Knockahoma Nation. Does a great podcast, very nice, enjoyable listen about baseball and the Atlanta Braves. And just wonderful takes from a baseball reporter down one time Rome, Georgia. So, I mean, a podcast that go to games or just, I like the Braves, I watch them on TV or what. These are experienced, seasoned baseball reporting professionals. So Josh Brown joins us here. And the first week is over for the Atlanta Braves. I guess I want to start with we talk about the unlikability of the Phillies. You sweep the Braves and you're complaining. Oh, Reese Davis after the home run and all that. Is this another reason why you just hate those Phils? I mean, what was your take on that?
Yeah, the Phillies are fun to hate. They've always been fun to hate.
They've lost more games than any other team in the history of baseball, and they're fun to hate. How?
Right? Yeah, and a lot of Braves fans and Braves bloggers on Twitter were of the world. That first series getting swept in March. I mean, there was literally Braves bloggers tweeting about how they're not going to spend money on Braves tickets or Braves merch this season. I'm not even kidding. It was awesome. I love this kind of stuff. So I had fun and retweeted a bunch of stuff and might have saved some bookmarks for September when the Braves are doing well. But needless to say, in the series. But if you watch the offense did good. They were fun games. I thought Julio Teheran actually looked pretty good first game. He gives up a dinger to McCutcheon, of course, but I think the bullpen looked bad, And I think if you look at it in perspective, you realize that Luke Jackson's probably not, a long-term bullpen guy, and they ran him out there because some other guys are hurt. So it didn't really. It's not an indictment on the whole team and the whole season at all, that first 3 games, in my opinion.
We're talking to Josh Brown of Knockahoma Nation. And yeah, the first 3 games, the Braves lose, and then they win their next 3. Where is this going with the Atlanta Braves jockeying for positioning right now, I suppose? Yeah. Things like, I'm sure that you want to do wish the best for Bobby Cox, that sort of thing. And the Braves are 3-3, a game and a half out behind the 4-1 Phillies. I do want to ask you about some of these trends in baseball who's taken. I guess, yesterday, for instance, it comes on my cell phone, baseball news. Hey, Trevor Bauer, he's throwing a no-hitter against the Toronto Blue Jays, but I got to take him out because he has 117 pitches. And nobody really even thinks that that's a thing anymore, And this isn't even 1 week into the year. The only pitcher that's been taken out while throwing a no-hitter. And I ask you, does the complete game need to come back? I mean, this can't be good for developing stars.
Well, it's a lot. There's a lot of layers. And we've talked about it before, Marky.
Mm-hmm.
You're basically, when you take out the starting pitcher, you're taking out a competitor. You're taking out a massive aspect of the game. You're taking out a guy wanting to finish what he started. You're taking out, oh my goodness, I didn't realize he got taken out, actually. I saw it on Twitter last night, Marky, that he was throwing a no-hitter and didn't realize he was taken out because of pitch count. But that's not surprising because it is 2019. But it's so ridiculous. It's so sad. Especially a guy like Trevor Bauer, who he's more than capable of pitching more than 117 pitches, right? We grew up. Obviously, you're a little older than myself, with all due respect. You grew up watching guys throw over 200 innings a year, all the time. And now we just freak out at guys creeping up to 90. It's sad. A no-hitter should mean something. To go through a whole team and not allow a hit, that's a special thing. That's a feat of sports. That is awesome. And to take that away,
they allowed Sean Newcomb, we mentioned this, he went longer than any outing a pitcher had in terms of pitch counts, way over 130. I think it was 134. His bats into the ninth and all this, and he gave up the hit, in his bid last year, and then it was taken out promptly. And I did kind of wonder, and don't even let him close it out, but it was, you do start to wonder, Josh Brown, just where are we at here? I mean, I actually saw a replay of a game Steve Carlton pitched. His pitch count 157 today before he's relieved with 2 outs in the ninth. And you're like, that would never, even to a Steve Carlton, even in the 7th game of the World Series, this would, And just to give you an idea, David Hess of the Orioles was pulled out after 82 pitches. In mid-inning, he's taken out by the Orioles. What are they waiting for? They won 47 games last year. You've got to establish the franchise again. What, 82 pitches, really? Well, I didn't think he was at the stage at this point in the season. Why did you have spring training?
Yeah. Hey, look at Sean Newcomb 2 nights ago. Sean Newcomb's game. He's gonna pitch little. It's gonna be the 3rd or 4th inning, and he's gonna have 48 pitches, right?
Mm-hmm.
And they take him out, and what happens? I love Johnny Ventures. Listen, I'm a huge Johnny Ventures fan, but he gives up a dinger, right? And they come back for what was it 2 nights ago? Darvish is pitching, and he's actually pitching pretty well. And the Braves have 1 run on Yu Darvish, and he's looking really good. He gets taken out after 72 pitches, I think, because of pitch count. And then what happens? The Braves just light up their bullpen, And I'm sitting there laughing because I'm like, if your starting pitcher is doing well and the opposing team is having a hard time figuring him out, you leave him in the ball game. But yeah, it's 2019 now.
72 pitch. This is one of the things that I have been critical of, say, the Appalachian League. I remember John Rocker very angrily once telling me that, you have in the 75 pitch counts and all that. Now that's in the major leagues. About this, I think that in 15 years, let's say, that what we're going to look at is universal DH, and basically the pitcher is asked to go 3 innings. And then we try to change it up, a right-hander with a lefty, a knuckleball, or whatever. And that's going to be modern. That's going to be modern baseball. I think that's going to be the case, and I think that we will lose stars. We will have an extra hitter, but we will lose stars, and you will, lose the dominant pitcher. That sort of thing. And they won't be a star. And owners will like that because they'll have to pay the DH, but and that'll be an old vet, and so the union will like it. Mean that you get a lot of guys who will be making, I'm sure at that point, $1 million a year. And not the $10 million that a star would make, that sort of thing. So I think that's where.
I think we ought to.
Yeah, but before that happens, Kevin Gausman's going to start tonight. He has been reactivated. They have the Braves have optioned right-hander Shane Carl to Gwinnett. So tell me about the Gausman coming back into the staff. I know a lot of people thought that the Braves were starting the season with something of a short staff. How big do you think this is that Gausman is back into the rotation?
Yeah, Gausman's a little bit of a mystery to me. I think he's a lot better than his Orioles numbers. The Orioles, I'm not sure if you're privy to kind of how they operate behind the scenes, but their front office and their player development and scouting, it's almost a joke. There really are, and listen, I'm not the most. They are operating like it's the 70s, and now the Dodgers and the Yankees, they have. We're not talking about advanced stats per se. We're talking about data and pitch tracking technology that helps these guys figure out how to get better, like real athletes get better. So Gausman comes to the Braves last year, and they figured out that if he moves a little bit, I think, to the right of the mound, he's better. And it worked. And they just have tracking tools and data that kind of shows them, how they can help guys. And Gausman, it's a small sample size so far with Gausman with the Atlanta Braves, but Gausman so far has kind of showed that he might be a better than he was with the Orioles. And I've heard a couple of different guys who on different podcasts, different radio appearances over the last couple of years, kind of subtly throwing a little bit of shade at the Orioles at not having basically just information given to them that would help them get better. And so I think Gausman is going to be I'm not crazy high on him, but I think that he could be a formidable 3 or 4 guy. I really do.
You like Max Fried? I mean, his outing, and you've touched upon that. But yeah, and beating the 6 innings, 1 hit, and then he had his pitch count and had to come out. But there was,
I know.
yeah. Which I mean, I'm realizing that's where we're headed and all this. So don't get me wrong.
Yeah.
Just that, I mean, yeah, you do sort of like, wait a minute, now the game is close. There's, no, I just want to say, what did that mean to you that his first start went so well? Do you? I mean, like I said, there's I guess a few question marks, but it was young, and I don't know. Did the 134 do any damage? Or should it continue? You had all those questions. I guess the impressive start. You got to be thinking pretty well about old Max right there. For this year.
Mm-hmm. I tell you what, Max Fried, he was throwing 97, and he's got one of the best curveballs, in the league. I mean, last night, he was mad. He wanted to prove, I think, that he deserves a spot, and I think he did it. I really do. I think that even though Sean Newcomb's dad follows the podcast, so I always be careful. I'm always careful about what I say about Sean because Bill's a fantastic guy. I think Max is a better pitcher than Sean, and I don't know if Sean's weird. He's got a weird profile, right? He either strikes you out, he's got nasty stuff, he's gonna have a lot of strikeouts, or he'll walk you and walk a lot of guys and maybe even load the bases, then he gets out of it. And so he's one of those weird guys. If you look at Tom Glavine's career, you just pull it up on Baseball Reference. There were so many years when Tom Glavine, right, had a great ERA, was maybe even an all-star, had a fantastic year, but his whip was like, 1.3 or something, and you know what I mean? And there are weird unicorns like him and maybe Sean Newcomb who they're really good. They're gonna help your team win a baseball game, but it's gonna be ugly. they're gonna have a really high pitch count and walk a lot of guys. And I can't figure out if Sean Newcomb is that guy. There are way more qualified analytical guys with the Braves who are probably trying to figure that out too right now. But like I said last week, I think on your show, Mark, the Braves system with your Max Fried, it's so stacked and the competition is so strong that I do think he's got a leash. I really do. I think if he, I think that if he continues, walking a lot of guys and being a little ineffective, they're not going to be as hesitant on moving him as they might have been last year, the year before, right? I think Max Fried is fantastic. I really do. I don't think last night he's not going to throw a no hitter every game, obviously, right?
The Cubs are expected to be doing good things. I think that was the even at this point in the year, it really did make a statement, and such that hey, look, it's just 3 games from Philly. Now you're back even. I mean, a game and a half out with what is it now, 156 to play. It's not that much cause of concern. Marlins come in, the lowly Marlins for 3, then 3 out in Colorado with the Rocks, and then 4 games with the Mets next weekend, beginning on Thursday, as a matter of fact. So the schedule now in earnest. But I do want to know, hey, the Orioles behind the times in analytics, not able to, make their own players, so to speak, through their farm system. Might that be that why when I was working in Showcase Baseball, Josh Brown of Knockahoma Nation, I kept running into the Orioles independent minors scout? They were already looking at talent. Might that be the reason why? I'll throw that out for you. Anyway, a guy with a huge wad of chew who told me in a Showcase League, a guy who hit 400 could not hit, which I will explain it. What are you going to be talking about next? When's the podcast going to come out?
I tell you what, this week it's going to drop. But I think Ben Ingram is fantastic. He's so good. But he's going to be on a podcast on iTunes, Castbox, or Stitcher.
Well, that is going to be fun. And so in honor, by the way, of Henry Aaron, 45 years ago yesterday, hitting the 714th home run opening day against the Reds. Josh Brown, because I have to finish out Tri-City Sports now.
All right, my friend.
The 24th Annual Fiddlers and Fiddleheads Festival at the Farmhouse Gallery